Welcome, 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 welcome. It's the Tour of Love. And can you guys believe it is the last day of February 2021? February the 28th, 2021. I was joking with someone actually early this morning. I'm like, do we throw a party in March for a whole year? I mean, what do we do? It's so I thought, oh, well, we're going to heal through connection or through music today. So this is the Tour of Love show, and I am joined by Caroline Berzins, Skip, also known as Poe, so we'll call him Skip Poe, and Barbara Beckley. How is everybody this beautiful Sunday morning? And we have Shannon Green. Shannon, so good to see you this morning. So we are here, Tour of Love. For those that you do not know, Tour of Love is all about sharing the love. We believe that we can raise the frequency of the world through one word name by the name of love. We can change the way things are done. This show does support a nonprofit, and you will see many of who we call the buddies showing up through the show because we support a group, a global group, a community of buddies. We believe in healing through connections within the Buddies Network, and it is through cb4l.org. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am the president and co-founder of the nonprofit and one of the co-hosts. And to my left, we have the senior ambassador who seems to be very busy, who is also our production.
We're having trouble with the E360. We're not going live. So I'm just sending a message to Erin.
Okay, thank you very much. We will go on to then Skip Poe. Skip Poe, you are one of our board members, actually the board member over digital platforms. That's All Thing Media. And you are you have the most amazing contraption of microphones and screens and so much more right in front of you. You are major league, all about it. And so we're going to come and find out about that. And then we have Barbara Beckley, who is one of our leaders actually within the cb4l.org organization. However, she does so much more. She has her own show on the E360 TV platform. She is the Diamond, we call her the Diamond Lady. She has the Diamond Factor. And also, you were very involved with the whole Celebrate You program, and we want to recognize the Celebrate You group. We're streaming live right into your group, as well as many others today. So, Barbara, let's start with you. What's up? Surprise, surprise. So,
see, Carol got out of that because she's busy.
So let's hear from you. How's I said grab your favorite mug of whatever it may be. I'm doing a two-fisted mug this morning. Water and coffee. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow, you got the same ones. Wow.
Yeah. You know how that works.
I have to order my mugs.
So what is it that you're up to? And tell us a little bit more about who you are, what your purpose and passion, and what is it that is your driving love in your life?
Well, my driving love is to make sure that others are getting the exposure that they need so people can know how awesome, I always call the diamonds that are out there. And I think about this because, I went through, and some people know my story, some people don't, that when I was really young, I was bullied. I was called every name that you can think of that wasn't good. And it takes certain, that's why I always tell people, always look around, because if through all the bullying that I was going through, there were certain individuals that was placed in my life, including my dad, who was my rock, that told me the opposite. and kept me in my mind to say, I'm not going to take all this. I got to weed out all that to get to that light. And I promised myself at that time, when I got much older, that I wanted to make sure that people know that people have value, that they make a difference, that they can bring an impact. But a lot of times you don't see those jewels because they're hidden under the same things, some of the same stories that I went through in my life. I know each and every one of us in this group went through different things in our lives. And a lot of times people don't understand through all that stuff. You need to know who they are and they have to shine. So that's my mission in life, is to make sure that people understand that there's some real gems out there, real diamonds that they need to know. And I use it on my platforms with E360, as you've said, the Diamond Factor Experience Show with Barbara Beckley. I always say, and guests and experts, because they make the show too. They make the show too. And then I also do special interviews with women to show their business, how they're shining in their business, and just understand their purpose. You know, it's one thing to say, oh, I do this and I've been doing this, but I always dig. I always say, okay, now before you became all this wonderful genius that you have, what pushed you? What provokes you every day? What gives you that passion to get up every day and say, I want to do this? So, and I dig. And when I hear that, I fall in love with it, because it's like, wow. And then it gives other people like say, wow, maybe I can do that too. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you inspired the man that's there to your left in so many ways, even to writing song verses. And you have inspired also, in some ways, you even inspired this show because of the evolution of how it all worked within the group. And that is a whole nother story. However you think about it, this is where a collection of amazing, heart-driven people that are all about the love.
Yes.
Wink, wink, about the love. And that there's you can't stop it when you get us together. So you inspired Skippo, and so also explain. Okay, you have a very interesting thing going on there. You got this. I'm going to move the name here, guys, so you can see this. You know, his shirt, and we've got. Let's see. Hog Army with some rays. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Special. Okay, so you got that going on. You got all of your massive amount of equipment and guitars, and Love Monkeys are there. I see them, and you can tell that you're in a cabin. So so explain it to us.
Explain yourself. Yeah, I'm in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas, and first, love being a part of this, and love to you, everybody, Carol, and Barbara. I call her Caroline. I see the name there, but I don't know which she prefers. Of course, you, Tamara. Caroline. I'm so sorry. We always just call her Carol, I think. But anyway,
but not anymore. We call her Caroline.
Caroline. Yep. All right, I've got it. Well, and so that goes to Skippo. Yeah. And actually, that goes back to my granddaughter, who before she was born, my daughter said, well, what do you want to be? You're going to be a grandfather. What do you want to be called? Do you want grandpa, papa? I said, oh God, no, those sound like old, disabled kind of guy. No, not that. I want to be something fun. Like what? Like Barney, the cartoon, the dinosaur. I want to be a cartoon, something fun. And she said, like what? And I said, well, how about Skippo? And like Skippo with but I didn't realize a 2-year-old couldn't say Skippo, so she just shortened it to Poe. And so she goes Poe, and I have a motorhome, and she goes, where's Poe's car house? And so she calls it a car house. And so anyway, so I thought, and so I started writing little kids songs as Poe. And then I thought, well, let's make Poe a real character and do grown-up songs and just kind of create. So Skip Thomas is kind of the old, guy that looks like a librarian that sits in the parks and feeds the pigeons. But Poe can be somebody that's just out there, and everything's possible. My background in music and theater and filmmaking, you always created characters and costumes. And so I thought, okay, so I created this whole thing with steampunk. I've got hats and clothing and all that stuff. And so I've created the steampunk Poe character of and doing videos and music around this character. And it's a fun thing because goes back to my theater days. But the shirt is actually, it says Hog Army, which because I'm in Arkansas, we have the Razorbacks who are, go Hogs go, and they're the Hogs. And but that's not what this represents. This is actually a guy that I found online through a bunch of young people who's a rapper, and he lived homeless in the ghetto and on his, couches. And suddenly he started believing in his own thing, and he ended up he's getting like 1 million views a day now, but he's uniting people of all cultures, black, white, old people like me and young people, but it's and his name's Tom McDonald. So I bought some of his shirts, especially this one, since it's about him, but it's also our Arkansas Razorbacks who are winning. Yay.
Yay. I love it. Wow. And believing in his own thing. I love that. Believe in your own thing. Mm-hmm. Such a great message right there. And Caroline Berzins, our senior ambassador of the community, and also the production assistant for not only this show, but also the Service Hero Show. Good morning. And what is it like for you today up there in Canada? With what kind of love have you brought with you to the tour of love today?
Well, it's a rainy day here, but you know what? You still wake up with a smile on your face regardless of the weather. So what I'm bringing is, I wake up every day with a smile on my face now because I found my purpose, I found my passion, and I have the drive. And I got that from that woman down there in the far corner underneath you, and also yourself in many ways. Yeah, don't hide, Barbara. You encourage me so much to, just find my purpose and find my passion of what lights me up every day, and just being a part of the community, being a part of this tour of love has really made me shine, and how I see a difference in so many people that have come out of their shell, just like where I was at that one time, where I would always hide behind the camera and never be faced here and being on the other side of the camera. So it took a lot of growing, a lot of growth, looking into myself, finding myself, and I'm here.
And so excited about the fact that you are here. Okay, I have a video to share, and it's going to kick off our discussion of healing through music. Here we go. I think we can.
And I think we could make it one more time if we try one more time for all the old times. Woo! I just listened to that song in my heart, and I just say thank you for Melissa for giving us those love songs, not just love songs of just relationship-wise, but love songs with any relationship you have. It could be with family members, it could be with friends, it could be with your husband, wife. But every time I hear that, that was one song that stayed with me throughout my life. And the biggest thing that I put a big atonement to with that song is my dad passed when I was at the age of 17. He was murdered, and that was one of his favorite songs that he loved to hear. And till this day, I sing it in my heart, and it just reminds me of him. And I just thank Melissa for writing that song, because without that song, I don't think I would have kept on moving forward, because he's always here with me through that song, through those verses. So we can make it one more time if we try. Thank you, Melissa, for giving the love and for giving your passion and purpose in this world with your love songs.
Even the simple things become rough. Haven't we we can make it one more time.
It's so fantastic.
Thank
It's
you.
such a fantastic concept, and it's magnificent that you are enacting that. Yes, I have been through the journey with my dad. He had liver and pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately he did not survive it, but he had a fantastic life. He did what he loved to do. He was a musician. He was a bassoonist with the Metropolitan Opera, and he his life was remarkable, and I must say his death was remarkable as well. There was a lot of joy in music and community. And my niece just survived a brief bout with breast cancer, and not, thank God, she's doing fine. I'm thrilled to be part of this, and I'm thrilled with the concept of buddies, because I really believe that the isolation of doing this by yourself creates its own kind of toxicity.
Right.
And you really need help to walk the walk and carry the load. I know from observation that sometimes you want to just be in a corner and hide for a while. But man, oh man, if you have a community, a village of even one other person who's saying, it's enough with the darkness, we're going into the light now. Come on. We're going into the light. We're going to walk in the light.
Whatever it is, it'll keep till the morning. Haven't we both got better things to do? Midnight blue. Even the simple things become rough. Haven't we had enough? And I think we can make it one more time if we try one more time for all the old times.
She sings.
I love that song.
Good job editing there. You're quite an editor now. You're doing great.
I know. Look at Mrs. Queen.
I'm working on it. I'm learning from the best. And I want to recognize everybody that's showing up. Uh-oh, it froze. I'm not sure where it froze. Hopefully you guys saw it.
No.
Hopefully you saw it. And Helene, we want to say welcome to one of our ambassadors. I'm so glad you're here and welcoming everyone too. And let's see, we have Lori Whitney. Lori Whitney, so happy you're with us this morning. Hugs to you and all. So, healing through music is our topic today. And again, we have a couple of songbirds and we have a couple of singing loud in the shower birds, and you wonder who is who, I bet. So, I would like to open it up to discussion here on camera in the show, and also those that are with us live in the audience. Love to hear, number one, we want to recognize again Melissa Manchester and say thank you, and we absolutely love you. We want to thank you for believing in us and being on record doing so, and all of the beautiful music, like you had said, Barbara, all of the beautiful music that she has graced us with through so many years. And shameless plug, yes, go out please and support. Melissa Manchester is re-releasing many of our favorites now. Many of our favorites are coming out. And what they are doing is they are doing it with video that is, it's all about the times we're in right now, real relevant to today. And so thank you, Melissa Manchester, for your belief and support. So I'm going to throw it out to you guys. What do you think?
I just want to say, Melissa, you know, she's always had great songs and an amazing voice. And listening to her work and what she's doing with the young kids and groups, her voice is as good or better than it's ever been. I mean, it's just astonishing. And it comes from her heart. I mean, she so loves what she does and loves people and loves causes. It was great that she came on the 36 hour and was so humble and dedicated, and just showed who she really is. And so, yeah, it's what a blessing.
Yes, yes. I just think about because I remember when I sent that over to you, Queen, and it just dawned on me because that song just was a placeholder in my heart after my father passed, because he loved Melissa Manchester and he loved her music so much. And I totally understand why, because I grew up on it too with him. And when he passed, it was like, you know, just with him embedding what, you know, he said about who I was to make sure I understood that I was special and a value for myself, you know, that song just kind of soothe things, you know, like you said, it's healing through music, and music really does heal. I mean, I am just a example of that. I love music so much. I love all kinds of music. Well, I'll say opera. I'm still kind of getting used to the opera a little bit, but all the other music I love, you know, it doesn't matter for me. And then some rap, but besides that, you know, I give it, I give, you know, I give it a go. But you do. I mean, certain music just really just heals. It gets down to your soul, and you don't even recognize it. You just listen to it and let it really just, you know, really get into you. So that song has saved me in a lot of areas in my life because my dad loved it and because I loved it, and it just soothes me. Yeah.
And Caroline, you are a new. It was new to you, in particular that song that we were just highlighting with the love letters and with Barbara singing so beautifully, and when you listened to it, what happened for you? I'd love to hear.
It brought me back on the journey of my life and what I went through, and it was a healing song for me, you know, to get past you know, the obstacles that I faced in my life, you know, and it reminded me of stuff with my father who passed away almost 4 years ago. But I really resonated with it because it just opened me up to letting go of a lot of things in my life that I was holding on to. And then listening to Miss Barbara Beckley there sing it so beautifully.
Yeah.
I was like, Barbara sings?
I was too. And when I got to listen to it, I was like, are you kidding me? She's been holding out on us.
As soon as I saw the love letter, I was like getting closer and closer to my screen, and I'm like, Barbara? And I'm like, wow. But you know what? The song really resonated with me with the journey that I had been going on in my life. And it really helped me just, you know, piece away the things that I was holding on to and just not letting go and just being able to move forward in my life.
And, you know, okay, so guys, anybody else out there want to chime in to seeing what there's a commonality here? If you guys, I see it very clearly. I'd love to see if anybody else is seeing it as clear as I am. And that is, there's a couple themes here. And I'm finding it very interesting because, you know, we're going into March and into, at some point we'll be hitting Father's Day. We're hearing a lot about fathers. Melissa talked about her father. You talked about your father, Barbara. You talked about your father, Caroline. And then Poe, you talked about Skippo being grandpa, you know, to of course, your daughter's daughter. And I'm seeing how not only is music scientifically proven that it can help to heal our souls and our bodies and so much more, the frequencies of it, yet music can be a time machine. We're hearing that.
Mhm.
It can be one that can bring up those, the tour of love, the loving emotions or the healing emotions, to be able to unconditionally get to a unconditional love place, either or. And it's all because we're talking about, in particular right now, a song. That's pretty powerful to see all of this happening here. I'm really touched, and I'm going to add to mine is that mine was that when Melissa Manchester sang, we were huge fans in my home, and my mom was my mom and my dad. I was raised by my mom, and she was all of the above. And she is also a huge influence in everything that I do, even though she has now gained her wings. And so I thought, wow, you look at all of this, and this is off of, in particular, one song, or the fact that we're here as a tour of love. And Skip Poe, I'll give it that it wasn't in regards to the song. However, he did mention Melissa Manchester. So I'd like to throw it out now in regards to the healing aspects of it. I know that you mentioned it right now, Caroline, and some that know your story understand that what you just shared right now was a huge healing for you. Barbara, you mentioned it a bit. However, there's even more to that healing property, right?
It's a lot like it's just like saying how powerful a prayer was. Well, it was just a prayer, but how could it be so powerful? Well, it's not just a prayer, and it's not just a song. It is vibration, it's frequency, it's healing frequencies. We are all vibrational beings. And so where we resonate to and with and connect to, when you hear a song, your vibration raises to that frequency that of the love, the message in that song. That's why you use it for meditation, And so Barbara said it healed her, it saved her. I mean, those kind of things. That's not just a song. That's an experience of as a songwriter and so forth. This guitar right here, I got in the 8th grade, and I still have it, obviously, and his talk about healing and going through, tragedies, illnesses, loss of a brother, bad situations of all kinds. I pick up that guitar and I write a song, or I play songs that actually are very much like a prayer. And it helps me release that. It's a healing thing. There's no doubt about it. And here I am in Arkansas, and music can inspire, in so many ways. And in Arkansas, I mean, I play a lot of folk music. I like everything that's done well, from classical music to jazz to, I mean, you name it, rock and roll, R&B, which I've written and produced some songs. And then not long ago, I produced a rap song because I thought I want to learn how to write a rap song. I loved when who was Eminem and the piano guy, the big flamboyant piano singer. I can't believe I can't think of his name.
The flamboyant, you mean Elton John?
Elton John and
what am I saying? He and I go back.
And they did this thing back and forth on a music show or something where it was, but it had a great message, and it united, so many different audiences, from the Elton John audience to the Eminem rapping audience, with a powerful message. I'm wearing this shirt, it says Hogs Army, which is, I'm in Arkansas, but really it's about a rapper that grew up in the ghetto, and he was and he decided he wasn't going to go the old traditional ways of, he had a message, and he wasn't a great singer, but he wanted to rap, and actually have a picture. This is him right here.
Oh wow!
His name is
Tom
McDonald, and he's pretty wild looking. He's got his hog tattoo.
Oh wow!
I'm not going that far. But
Wow.
that's
here.
that's the hog. but he's uniting people, obviously, of all ages and cultures. But he's got messages. He just launched a new song a couple days ago, and already it's almost 2 million views, and he's just exploding, doing it because he has a song that is uniting people and bringing people together, and people resonate to it. Not everybody likes rap, and you look at the guy, go, "Oh, I can't, I don't want to have anything to do with him." But it's but the power in song and music and inspiration is beyond. We're really blessed. I mean, to be able to resonate, and so many musical talented people in this group, and the things that you guys have produced and Barbara inspired is very exciting. It's a great topic.
Yeah, so healing, and here's the tour of love and healing and music, healing through music. Okay, so we're going to right now, you mentioned the guitar, you mentioned singing, we mentioned the fact that Barbara Beckley inspired you, Skippo, in regards to one of the verses of one of your songs, and we have it queued up to play. So let's play that, and then we'll continue.
There comes a time I look to the sky, a rainbow appears and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers heard among the crowds. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. There's a reason, now's the time. Rivers to swim and mountains to climb. I'll hold your hand and we'll reach the shore. Shine a light for all to an open door. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. When they told me I felt so alone, to be on this journey I'd be on my own. Do I tell those I love, let go the memories yet undreamed of? If you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. sea to sea reaching, hand to hand. I will. And what may block my way, climb and build a better day. I can. We will. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. Sea to sea reaching, hand to hand. We are. And what may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. I can, we will.
Oh, there it is.
And so you can see who inspired that, as she was hosting the show for the closed group, the Cancer Buddy group, and while Tamara and some of the team were at a conference, and Barbara held that up, and I thought, what a perfect one. And so yeah, we wrote the when we did the big 36 hour, and her team said we need to do a song for Tamara. And what can we do? Or not a song, but do some videos and have people say stuff. And I always reach for music to set the stage. And there wasn't one, so I thought, well, heck, let's just write a song. And Barbara had that card, I can, we will. I thought, that's it. That's the message. So that's how. Thank you, Barbara, for that inspiration.
I love it. Behind this closed door, sorry, Barbara. Behind this closed door, here in a moment, we're going to have someone unveil themselves. Okay, Barbara, so go ahead and what you were sharing.
No, I just want to, it's always divine intervention I see when things happen in life. You don't take it for granted. You can't. You have to be very, like Caroline always says, we have to be grateful. So I'm grateful that it was put in my heart to talk about how we can and we will be able to move forward. Because I remember that day and just to be open to why I really use that, because I was dealing with some things. That's where there's some deaths and other things were going on in my life. And I said, you know what? I need to show everybody that we can do this. We can push through whatever's going through in our lives, no matter what the storms and the earthquakes are hitting. So, see, that's why songs are so important, because you never know what a few little words. I mean, I just had this because I keep all little cute things around my house that's, positive. I lifted this up. I was talking about it. I was really, my heart was in it that day. And then, and Skip was like, oh, wait a minute, I like that. And then next thing you know, here's a song. So that's why we really have to make sure that we listen to what the universe is telling us, because you never know what can become of just some words. Yeah. So thank you, Skip, so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Words are powerful.
Yes.
And I remember, because I was on the chat with you when you held that up, because we were doing that chat that night when Tamara were all away.
Yeah.
And Skip was listening, and that's where the words
were
crossed there.
Yeah.
So everything happened all at the same time when it needed to happen at that time. So yeah. Yep.
And we have, and when she's ready to share who it is that's going to unveil herself, we have, I said that we may have some surprises and some people popping in and talking about this. And we have one person that absolutely loves all of these songs that we sing within the group, that loves music, that just really and has a unique story about where this person even listens to the music, which I love. I love the story. So when she's ready, we will see her and she'll show up here. So in the chat that we have, we're talking about the closed chat. For anybody that's not aware of who we are talking about, I'm going to share a quick clip, and so that all of you we're all on the same page. And then we're going to keep going on, because you see, healing through music is a huge part of our programs within the cb4l.org community and family, because we believe in healing through connections. And we are making the case today, I believe, really well, that music has a connection capability. It can connect us to a period of time. It can connect us to a memory. It can connect us to a person. It can connect us to a favorite meal. It can connect us to a favorite car. Whatever it may be, it can do, because it has this amazing quality and energy about it. And we're going to talk about that when we come back, and also unveil our surprise buddy.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Chemo Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
All right, we are working on getting our surprise guest, a part of the show, on, and so that we can see, and we've got some fun taking place. We're always looking for a purple pen around here. And I simply can feel so much love, beautiful, amazing, groovy love here. I love that, Lori. You're using all of our words all in one sentence. That works. So the energy that we're talking about, I would love for us to address that, because we're always talking about this, and we're lucky to have Skippo with us, because he has filmed and been with many of the greats when it comes to, and has been on a journey in regards to this omega scale. And music really hits it, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, if you look, and a lot of times when I was a cancer survivor, and it'll be 11 years this summer, which is in that song was, thank you, a cancer warrior, or what do you call it? A conqueror. Yeah. And for, 11 years. But but in that song, I had to put a part of my journey where I was in there. It was like where it slowed down, it said, and when they told me I felt so alone to be on this journey, I'd be on my own. I was 1,200 miles away from family or anybody, and I didn't really want to tell them. And it was kind of like, do I tell them? And do I start to let go of the dreams that are yet to be thought of, And so that for me, that was a type of prayer to write that song. And it was a part of you said it affects all these things around us, music and so forth. But when you're at a level of despair or anger or grief or just apathy, and you start to experience a song like the Melissa Manchester song, or a song that you create, or just singing in the damn car or shower, it's just like, it changes. Yeah, there you go. Where nobody else can listen, but you feel it. Doesn't matter if you're in key. The thing that inspired me was my grandmother, who was like Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies, and times 100, and she would pound on an old upright piano that was out of tune, and she would sing at the top of her lungs, out of tune. And I was a little kid, and I was sitting there looking on the bench with her, looking up, going, "Oh my God, she is so loving this." And I thought, I want to do that. Oh,
wow.
We have our buddy on now. Your mic is muted. However, you are here. So exciting. So exciting. We have Shannon Green, one of our buddies, and one that really loves the music. And yes, Chemo Buddy for life. And you listen to it in a very unique place too, don't you? And we need you to unmute your mic, and so we'll be able to hear you. So once we get her mic unmuted, then we'll be able to hear what she has to say. Oh, okay, she'll be back. She'll be back. I love it though. I love it. So, Carol, you were there and witnessed this whole thing, and then I'll never forget, I was flying back from Florida when I was sent the first rough version of the last verse. And I remember being on the plane thinking, I don't know if anybody sees me crying, but I'm just bawling.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great.
And we have one of our buddies, Shannon Green. And Shannon, why don't you tell everybody where you currently are?
I am in my she shack.
You have a she shack.
Yes. And I love it. I got it for Christmas and I love it.
And oftentimes you're in that she shack when we are live or doing something, and you are always sharing that you love the music, right?
Yes, I do. I do. It sings to my soul. Creates peace and comfort, and I really enjoy it.
How do you feel now that you're part? I mean, you've just gotten so. I mean, you're now one of our inspirational leaders. You help with that. Carol, why don't you start? Or Caroline, why don't you start bragging about Shannon and everything that she's doing? It's incredible.
Oh, let me tell you about this woman. When I first met her, I mean, I've followed her, I've watched her. And when she joined into the community, I watched all the posts and inspiration and how she lifts herself up and how she lifts other people up with her inspirational quotes. So Tamara and I talked about, getting this media group going, but it's actually, I called it a media club and not a group, because I want everybody just to be in one little shell, and let's share out this love to everybody, and Shannon, like, honestly, like, I watch her every day in the public page. I watch her, in the private group. And I asked her, I said, would you like to be a part of the social media club and sending out inspirational quotes every day? And I will do them in the morning and she does them in the afternoon. And she said, yes, what would my role be? So I called her the inspirational leader, because she leads from her heart. She leads from all the love that she has within herself.
Love
and
you.
She shows everybody, how she can lift herself up, but not only just herself, but she lifts everybody up that she speaks to, that she interacts with. And I can't say any more. Like, she's just incredible how
Yeah.
she's so positive in the way she does things, you know.
Oh, well,
So we
thank
work
you.
together
Thank
doing it.
you.
You're welcome, hon.
And okay, so the idea. Let me ask you this, Shannon. What do you think about the fact that we gather together and we have our chats, and we have, and in it, it could be one day it might be about music, one day it might be about, do it yourself this, or it might be about that. What do you think about that?
I love that. I love our chats, I love how fun we can be, and we take life not so serious, and I love that, and we just get in there and we chat.
Right.
We sing to our heart's content, and I watch you guys, and it inspires me to be happy every day. And in being the inspirational person that I am in the group and posting stuff in the afternoon, I have to seek out those posts. And it makes me think about what I want to say today. Who do I want to touch? Who can I touch in those posts? They may be just a simple post in the afternoon, but to me, they're more than that. I want to touch people. I want to reach out to them, and it's like, what do I want to say? And so in searching for those posts, it helps me to be positive and be more positive, and I think about what I want to be positive today and how do I want to share it.
Love it. Barbara, you were the chat host last night, and you have Saturday night, which is Success Saturdays. And last night you had a really great topic. Why don't you kind of talk a little bit about what is it like to be a chat leader, and why is it that you joined to be a chat leader with everything else that you've going on? And you actually shared a little bit about that last night. And then also what you're thinking and feeling in regards to what Shannon has just shared.
Well, first of all, thank you, Shannon, so much for being the awesomeness of what you have in you. It's people that come into this group that puts the love that I do to be one of the chat leaders of the week. I look forward to it all the time. I'm always concerned because I want to make sure I'm giving value to the group. We're family and we're friends, and people come here to look for the light, to look for hope, to look for the buddies, to look for the love, and that's what I always portray in my mind before I come on every Saturday, to make sure that hopefully that's happening. And then, to give some things, to do things like, well, maybe we need to think about this, or I didn't think of it like that, or, give some tips, because it helps. I mean, we all come together, we collaborate together. You're not on your own island. And I think when I do the Success Saturdays, the first thing I always like to make sure is that we are celebrating each person's success that they had during that week, and that's the most important part, because it's one thing to say, oh, I was successful in this, maybe. It's another thing when you have a whole lot of people congratulating you and celebrating, having a party on a Saturday night saying, you did it. Yay, Carolyn, you did it. So I love that. And I always tell, bring it in. Come on, tell me about your success. And there's no high or low. There's no short or tall when it comes to success, because your success, I always say, depends on what you see success looks like in your life. So that's what I love to bring.
Exactly. And then Skippo, you were there in the very beginning of the whole concept of the chat. And in the very beginning, you were not completely convinced that this was a really where we were going, and then there was an awakening. You saw an immediate, at some point once this started getting going, and you saw what it was happening within the community. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I think the key word for all of this, with love, with music, and with this chat and the community, is the word connection. Because connection, without connection, you don't get all the power of healing. And through the community, you get power of healing. Through music, you get it. Through nature, we've got music, we got art. And even with prayer or meditation, unless you really connect your heart and soul to it, you're missing out. And so what I witness is the true, just authentic connection of people's hearts and souls that has proven to be very healing to a lot of people. And the people watching, not just the people that are in the group, but the people that are part of this community. So I encourage everyone to be a part of it.
Yes, thank you. And so Shannon, there in your She Shack, you actually one evening you went live with Caroline on a Thankful Thursday, and you told your story and you took us on a tour of the She Shack. That was so fun. How was that for you? How was that for you? Would love to know what you were thinking.
What I was thinking, sitting in my She Shack
and sharing it with everybody. Yes.
Well, I don't know. I watched the live videos, and I enjoy watching them and making comments and welcoming people and getting to know them and privately messaging them, encouraging love and support. And I love Helene. Yes, if you are happy and you know it, sing a song and keep looking for purple things. I love it. So anyway, I didn't know what to say. What was your question?
That was perfect. We're wrapping things up now. That was perfect. You could not have said anything more perfect than what you just shared with us, my dear. We so love you and all of the buddies, and we're so glad that you came on, because Shannon was excited about the whole idea of healing through music. And so when I asked if she would want to come on, because I know it's one of her favorite things, when we shared the music, that she's like, yeah, I'll be there. So thank you for coming on. Yes.
No problem. I'm glad to be here. And I've made new friends through your guys' group page, Chemo Buddies for Life. People have sent me friend requests, and I wonder who they are, and they are connected to the Chemo Buddies. We have Ray Coates is my newest friend. And he sent me his albums, and I've been listening to them and enjoying them. And he's a great songwriter, and I guess he'll be on the show soon. You'll have him later on.
Yep.
And he's a great person to add to our community.
Absolutely.
And I'm just glad to get to know him and the rest of the people, through private messaging and stuff like that. I really enjoy it. And I've made new friends. And I have a buddy that I check in with every day or every other day, and it's nice. It's comforting, and I love it.
Thank you for sharing.
And I love the music. I just love the music. It inspires me to want to do more, to push myself to try and walk and to try and do the things that are hard for me right now. you know, because I'm going through cancer, and I just see myself failing, you know, dwindling. I'm dwindling, and you know, I'm becoming more and more limited to what I can do. And if I can be a part of this group, you know, wholeheartedly, then I'm going to be.
I love it. And you are a valuable, very, you know, you are so important, and you are so much a part of this group. And, you know, every single one within the group and within the community is with you. And our hearts are all connected together. And together we're on this tour of love to heal through connections. And anything and all things are possible. We love and adore you, Shannon Green. Thank you for coming on the show today. And we do need to close. We're a little late and we're a little over time. However, so worth it. And E360 TV, grateful we're back live. We are now. Thank you, Aaron, for taking care of things. And we will be back. And Sharon, we will have you back on again, okay? Or Shannon?
Okay.
Shannon?
Yes.
Yes. Shannon.
I would
All right.
love to be. I'll be on anytime you want me.
Absolutely, guys. You heard it. We're going to ask Shannon Green to come on again. All right, guys. Thank you. Go out and share the love. Share the love with others today and always. We will be back again next week. And until then, remember, together we can change the frequency of this world through love. Bye, everyone.
Bye.